right, good morning, boys and girls. How are you doing this morning?
Good.
Good. Oh, you could do better than that. How are you doing this morning? Good. Okay. All right, so I just passed out your student-facing document. Put your first name and last name, and go ahead and put the date on it. Today is June the 1st. Like, you can just do this, okay? Okay, I'm going to come around and check. 1, Sonia, Amelia. Very good. Okay, give me a thumbs up when you're ready. 2, wait on 1. Very good, 100%. All right, so we're going to get started with, we're going to continue our novel Hatchet, right? We've been talking about the story Hatchet by Gary Paulson. It's a realistic fiction story, right? So we're just going to review at the very beginning. So you see that little synopsis right here at the front of your paper. I want you to take a minute to read that. I know it's kind of tiny. Take a minute to read that. Our projector's not working, so I need you to read that. This is going to kind of tell you all about the story that we've read so far, okay? And then when my timer goes off, you're going to turn and talk to your partner, okay? Give me a thumbs up if you understand what we're going to do. I'm going to give you 2 minutes because it's time. I'm still waiting on 2. What are we going to do for the next 2 minutes? Juanita, what are we going to do for the next 2 minutes?
We're going to read the little passage right here.
Very good. Does everybody understand? Go. Do the best that you can, okay? If you're having trouble with the word, let me know, and I will read it to you. Yes, Mary. 13-year-old Brian. You know what, as you're reading it, go ahead and make an annotation. Make a little note, whatever pops out to your mind. Simple. Hashtag Brian, hashtag his age, hashtag what's going on in the story. Because remember, this is giving you a little synopsis of everything that's happened in the story so far. And we've already read the whole story. So what pops out to you? That's where an annotation is, okay? All right. So it's telling how old he is, right? And then saying who the main character is. And it's also going to tell where the story's taking place. We have about 52 seconds left, okay? Do the best that you can. And then we're going to talk about it, okay? Can you read it? Okay, so what about Brian? Does the story tell you what happened to him? Keep reading. Ooh. Does the story tell you? You can underline it if you like. If it tells you what happened to him.
It talks about the plane, like the palette in this paragraph.
Okay, go ahead and finish reading so we're going to discuss. You're going to turn and talk to your partner in 22 seconds. You're going to turn and talk to your partner about what you just read, okay? And I'm listening for stuff.
Brian had to crash the plane.
Land the plane. And it crashed. Where did it crash? Does it tell you where it crashed?
In the lake.
I'm going to write that down. That's important. All right, that's time, boys and girls. This is what I want you to do next. For the next 1 minute, put your pencils down, look at Miss Reyna. Wait on 1. For the next 1 minute, I want you to turn and talk to your partner. You three, I want you to talk to one another. What was in the story? What did it tell you about? Overall. I'm going to be listening for specific key words, okay? 1 minute, go. Turn and talk.
He had to land the plane in the lake.
And then the pilot died.
Brian.
Brian. What about Brian?
He had to land the
The
plane.
plane in the lake.
Like he had to take over the plane.
Because he didn't know how to.
He didn't know how to
drive the plane.
Yeah. Like he didn't know how to like
Fly.
yeah.
Who? Why? What happened to the pilot?
He died.
Specifically, what happened to the pilot? How did he die?
He had a concussion.
A heart attack.
He had a heart attack. Give him 2 claps on 2. 1, 2. So what happened? The pilot had a heart attack, right?
And
Who took over the plane?
Brian.
Brian. So this little synopsis already told us who the main character is, what was the problem. So now we're going to get into why he's even on the plane to begin with, right?
To see his dad.
To see his
Because
dad.
their parents had a divorce.
their parents are getting a divorce. So he's having to travel in a plane to go see his father, right? Very good, I'm so proud of you. Now, look at the question right under that little paragraph there. 1, go ahead and read me the question, go, in the space below.
In the space below, answer the following question. Be prepared to share your answer with the class.
Very good. What's the question?
What would you do to survive in the
Wilderness.
wilderness and the only tool you had was a hatchet?
The only tool you had was a hatchet. I want to annotate this question. What keywords are important in this question? Think about what the question's asking.
Why is the
Wilderness is important because that kind of tells us where the story's taking place, in the wilderness.
What kind of tools were in it?
Tools, yep, it even tells you the name of the tool. What is the name of the tool?
hatchet?
Hatchet. Another word for hatchet is what?
A mini
What kind of tool is that?
A mini axe.
A mini axe, very good. Amira, do you understand what we're doing so far? Go ahead, underline wilderness.
Tool.
Tool. And what is the tool, Miriam? Very good. Now, I'm going to give you, I think a minute or two, 1 minute to 2. I want you to answer that question. What would you do to survive in the wilderness if you only had a hatchet? I want you to think about this. Pretend you're in the wilderness. What are some things you need to survive? You need a hatchet, but what are you going to do with that hatchet? You've got to survive. What are some main things you need to stay alive?
Food.
Food.
Water. Blanket.
You don't have a blanket.
Tree branches to make fire.
Thank you. You need to make a fire. So can you use a hatchet to make a fire?
Yeah.
Why? What are you going to do?
So we could cut tree.
You can, yes, you'll cut logs, right, to build a fire. So I'm just giving you some ideas. So go ahead and remember, we're going to restate. We're going to use RAC. Remember that? We're going to restate the question. because I want a complete question. Try your best. You're going to answer it. And you're not going to cite it because I'm not asking for that right now, okay? You don't have to give me text evidence because right now this is kind of your thinking. It's asking what would you do? And then I'll share mine in just a minute, okay? Oh, Ms. Erin did not start her timer. It is, I know. It's okay. Tell me. All right? You know what? You could just tell me instead of writing it down. I'm okay with it. Do we need more time? I know we did a lot of talking. You kind of were telling me already.
Done.
Done. Go ahead and share it. You're still writing.
I would cut logs first, use it for food, and then fire on the food, so I don't have to start a fire and then.
It's okay. So what I hear you saying is you would use the hatchet to cut wood to start a fire. That's awesome. I understand what you're saying. Girls, I'm going to come back to you. We're going to move them off for the sake of time, okay? I will come back to you. All right. Go ahead and turn the page.
I know, I got it.
Okay, but we'll share in a minute, okay? We're going to come back around. All right, turn the page. So, before we get started on our lesson, really quickly, I just want to go over our objective. Put your pencils down and give me your eyes. I'm right here at this top box. You see the top box right there? Okay, so our objective today is I can infer, right? I can infer using background knowledge and text evidence in the book of Hatchet. So that means I have to think outside the box. I have to think about what the author is not telling me, okay? You remember we talked about that a couple of days ago?
Yeah.
Okay, let me go over the key points really quickly. An inference is using your schema, what you already know about the story, which you know quite a bit, and clues from the story. So that way you can infer. Make that really, really good logical guess, okay? In the box, I told you how you're going to do that. I'm not going to go over this with you because you already know what it is. We've already gone over it, okay? But you have 4 steps to make that inference, right? Every time you answer a question. So let's go ahead and jump into our guided practice right there, and right there. This is going to take us about 6 minutes. All right, this is going to take us 2 minutes because you know what? We're only going to do 2 questions, okay? We're only going to do, no, let's do number 1 and number 3. Circle 1 and 3, circle 1 and 3. We only have 2 minutes for this one, okay? We're gonna do this together. Follow along with me, and as I'm reading the question, I want you to circle your keywords. You're gonna annotate the question, ready? I'm starting with number 1. Okay, here we go. Why is Brian boarding a bush plane to fly to Canada? Oh, circle keywords. 5 seconds. I'm looking. Why is he going to Canada? You already told me this. Okay, is that a keyword? Not really. Let's try again. What are my keywords? What is the question asking? Oh, that's perfect. Here, that's perfect. Those are the keywords I'm looking for. Let me see. Who's flying to Canada?
Brian.
Very good. Okay, remember the main character. Okay, so I'm going to read out your answer choices. A, to visit his father. Is that a yes, maybe, or no?
Yes.
Yes.
Can we stop there?
No.
Maybe. Put a question mark. Because we don't stop there. We got to read them all. B, to go hunting with his grandpa. Yes, maybe, or no?
Maybe.
Does the story talk about his grandpa?
No.
Then we put a big X. C, he is part of a wildlife program sponsored by his school.
No.
So what's our best answer?
Say.
You said C.
A.
A is our answer. He's going to visit his father. Okay? Very good. Look at number 3. What happens to the pilot during the flight? Sir, annotate your question. You have 10 seconds. Annotate your question. What happens to the pilot during the flight? What is important? Very good. Mary, you're on it. What happens to the pilot during, we're out of time.
Didn't we do this before?
Yes, we have. All right, so I want you to write down in your own words, what happened to the pilot? Simple words. I'm going to give you 30 seconds. Write down what happened to the pilot. He's the one driving the plane. Something happened to him.
He had a.
Okay? Just tell me in my ear and I'll write it for you. Tell me. Right here. How did he die? He was already dead before Brian had to land the
Ooh,
plane.
I got it.
Keep thinking. Okay, go ahead. Yeah. Just write it down the best you can. Okay, I understand as you told me.
Okay.
Yes. Perfecto.
Yes.
All right, let me see. It's okay, do the best that you can. You already told me, so I know the answer. What's the answer? Yes, very good. So boys and girls, how did the pilot die? He had a what?
Heart attack.
Very good. All right, let's move on. Go to your independent practice.
I still heard it.
Don't worry about it. You already told Miss Reyna, so I know that's what you meant, okay? I'll write it down for you.
Me too.
I'm not taking points off the spelling, baby. And we did this together. It's guided practice, okay? Let's go to independent practice. Give me a thumbs up when you're there. I'm waiting. Give me a thumbs up when you're there. All right, I have 100%. Excellent. All right, so you have one question. I'm gonna let you do this by yourself. You're gonna have 1 minute. Why? Because you're super smart. Okay? Look at the multiple choice question right there. I'm gonna read you the question. It says, what is the secret that Brian frequently mentions? A, his dad had lost his job. B, he has seen his mom kissing a strange man. C, he's failing in school. And D, his friend Terry is planning to run away from home. I want you to think about your answer before you choose it, okay? Do your very best. You have 1 minute. And I want you to give me some text evidence. Okay, you can use your book if you remember. If not, I want you to think about what you remember when Brian always thinks about this over and over and over. He always has this bad memory. Take your time. Well, you have about 40 seconds. I'll come around. Let me know if you need me to help you with spelling a word. Now, he saw that, right? Because he saw it.
Oh.
Do you remember how he saw it? I want you to think about, I'm gonna guide your thinking a little bit. How did he see it? What was he doing that he saw that? Not quite. And that is time. I'm gonna come around and check your answer, okay? We'll check your answer really quickly. That's right. Very good. Perfecto. Very good. Now, all three of you got it correct. Very good. Give yourself 2 claps on 2, 1, 2. So, Brian saw his mom kissing another man, a stranger, right?
He didn't tell his dad.
He did not tell his dad. That's good text evidence, okay? But the reason why he saw this is he was riding his bicycle with his friend after school and he happened to turn a corner. Do you remember?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, just kind of want to refresh your
And then he saw his
memory.
mom.
Yep. All right, exit ticket time. Time for you to shine. All right. Last question here. I'm gonna let you do it by yourself with no help. I need to see what you know, what you remember. Okay. I'll read it to you. Yes. Get started. You have 2 minutes. You have 1 minute. How can the reader tell? This is an inferencing question. How can the reader tell that it might take time for the rescue team to find Brian? You're gonna have to infer on that one.
I got it.
Okay, do the very best that you can. I'm looking for a particular answer. And remember, I'm gonna give you a little hint. He's in the wilderness. So this rescue team is high in the sky.
Looking for him.
I know, oh, yes, they're looking for him, but the question's asking you, how can you tell that it might be difficult? It's gonna take them some time. I just want you to try to make that connection. And you can use your book if you like, it's towards the very end, last chapter. Okay, that is time. Keep working on it for about 30 more seconds, and I'll come around and check your paper. How are they gonna know that though? They can't get a hold of him. I need you to use clues, what you already know. What do you think? Why do you think it's gonna take time for them to reach him? What are some things that are gonna be obstacles to the rescue team? That's good. I'll come back to you. Yes. All right. And that is our exit ticket time. That's all the time we have today, boys and girls. You did a great job. I will pick up your papers. When you are done, put your pencils down, give me a thumbs up.